If you're struggling to sell your art online, it could be that people aren't connecting with it at a deeper level. Sometimes having a beautiful artwork and showing it isn't enough to make a sale or get a person who's scrolling through Instagram, for instance, to stop the scroll. Sometimes it takes a little bit more. And this is where storytelling comes in. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how you can use storytelling to sell more art online. Specifically, I'm going to share some things that I learned from selling art in person over the last 10 years at art fairs all around the Midwest. And I took these lessons I learned on how to sell art, and then I transferred that knowledge over to selling online. You can use storytelling in a lot of places online, but the two main areas are your product listing descriptions. This is either on your website or on places like Etsy, Amazon Handmade, eBay, any of the art marketplaces. And the other situation is your social media posts. I'm going to share some real examples with you from my listings and videos so that you can see how easy this is to do yourself. One of the big things I learned from selling at art fairs is the power of a good story. You can have a customer come into your art booth, stand in front of one of your pieces and look at it, and if you don't talk to them about it, tell them something endearing or funny or meaningful in some way to them. If you don't say something about your work, likely they'll just look at it, be sort of interested, but then walk on to the next person's booth and you'll lose a sale. So what I learned to do is have a 2 or 3 sentence funny or endearing story about each and every artwork that I have on display in my booth, just stored in the back of my mind, ready to blurt out at will as soon as anyone shows interest on any of the works in my booth. And this has helped my sales so much. So this is why I transferred this tactic to selling art online. So I always try to share the story behind my work. And when I do this, I sell work a lot better. And like I said, the story doesn't have to be long, like 2, 3, or even 4 sentences, a simple paragraph. And in fact, you don't want it to be very long because oftentimes, whether you're selling in person or online, people don't have tons of time to dedicate to listening to your stories, and they might even find it boring if you go on and on about a particular piece for too long. So that's why I think 2 sentences, 3 sentences, 4 at the very most. First, I want to look at how to add storytelling to your description pages better on your website or Etsy. And I want to go here first is because this is a quick win. You don't have to edit videos, you don't have to post a lot. If you're already adding your listings to your website or anywhere else to sell them, you're already having to write a description. So this will just help you fine-tune your description to get those sales a little bit easier. To show you exactly what I do, here is my sales page. I want to go right down here to the description. I always have the first sentence in my description describe exactly what it is the person is buying, because oftentimes people won't even read more than 1 or 2 sentences down. So it's a good idea to have that it's an original painting of a rhino. This helps with search engine optimization as well. Then I have the name of the rhino because the particular animal who I'm painting is very important to me, and I think it's also important to the person who will purchase the painting. I have the year and then the collection that I released it in. Sometimes I will put the title of the artwork here, but in this case I put the title up here, so I didn't want to have the title in there twice, and the rest of this first paragraph is where I put my story. Also, just a heads up for complete transparency, I did not sell this artwork online. I actually ended up selling it in person, but I know that the story is why I sold it. The person who purchased it, she was a frequent visitor to KJ at the zoo, and she showed me a video on her phone of a really cute moment where KJ was chasing her as she was running in front of his enclosure. So because of these reasons, I wanted to use it as the example in this video because story is so important. And in this case, I know 100% for sure that story is what sold it. So let's read this. KJ was born and continues to live at Sedgwick County Zoo in Wichita, Kansas. He's a rare 3-horned rhino, a unique trait found in less than 5% of rhinos worldwide. He has a gentle and approachable demeanor, which I reflected using soft pastel colors to highlight his vibrant yet tender personality. Through this piece, I wanted to showcase his unique charm and the rare beauty of his 3 horns. And just in case, so if you didn't see them over here, you can see that he has 3 horns. This littlest one back here is the one that rhinos normally don't have. And I wanted to highlight that in the description of this piece. Also worth mentioning is this sentence here. He's a rare 3-horned rhino found in less than 5% of rhinos worldwide. If I didn't put this in the description, people might not even understand why there's an extra horn here, or why I have this piece titled KJ with 3 horns and why that even matters. Because oftentimes when people are going to the zoo, they're not really recognizing whether there's this little tiny horn extra or not on the top of a rhino. They just know they see a rhino and they're cool, they're big, but this is a very small detail to be able to miss sometimes if a person isn't familiar with what rhinos look like, and most people aren't. Next, I think it's important to discuss social media posts, because if you want to get any amount of meaningful traffic to your website so people might be able to purchase, or even to your marketplace listings, especially if you haven't grown a big following on the marketplaces, or you don't have your listings showing up high in search on the marketplaces, in order to get that going, you need to be able to funnel traffic from social media. And to do this, the very best way right now is using vertical video. Short form videos, you've seen them like Instagram Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, the vertical videos that are under a minute. And to exemplify this, I want to show you one of the shorts I created about the KJ painting to try to sell it. Did you know that rhinos can have 3 horns? It actually happens very rarely, less than 5% of the time. It's due to a genetic mutation. And this painting is of KJ. He's from Sedgwick County Zoo. He was born there. You can see he has 3 horns. Of course, I had to paint him because he's so unique and beautiful. I wanted to represent his calming energy that he always puts out. Since he's an adolescent rhino, he's also really playful at times. That's why I made sure to add lots of pops of color. I love to show each animal's personality. You can see this piece in more detail and 13 other paintings that I created of animals in my new collection, The Spirit Within. It's available now for browsing on my website. Check out the link in bio if you'd like to take a look. As you can see, video gives you so much of a more personal connection with an artist than simple text and a few images on a product page. And this is why I love video so much. It is the next best thing to selling art in person. Because in person, you can talk to customers, have those conversations, and nudge them toward a sale. But when you're online, you don't have that kind of interaction. Now, if a person comments on one of your posts, you can certainly reply to them and then try to have those conversations, and I definitely suggest to do that. You should never ignore comments of interested people in your work. Always respond. But even when you're responding to comments by text, it's not like in person, and it's never going to be. But by a potential customer watching your video, they get to experience you as an artist, your energy, your passion about your work, and they can see something in a video that they can't experience at an art fair. And it's seeing you actually creating the work. Unless you're painting live at an art fair, and then you can show people how you create your work, but they can't see how every single artwork is created that's hanging in your booth. It's just not going to happen. But with video, if they go on your website or follow you on social media, they can see how you create everything. And to a lot of customers, it's such a mesmerizing thing to watch artists create. I mean, think about how many people like to watch Bob Ross just for fun. So if you're trying to utilize this storytelling technique in your short videos, what I'd suggest is start out with a very simple hook, a question that gets the viewer curious. Did you know that rhinos can have 3 horns? Because if you can build curiosity in that first 3 to 5 seconds of your short video, it will get viewers to watch for longer. And this is crucial, because if viewers don't watch your video for more than a couple seconds, then the platforms aren't going to show it to very much of an audience. So you want to get good at that first 3 to 5 second hook. And then share something that you're passionate about, the piece that you created. It doesn't have to be a story of an animal like I did to be interesting. It can be anything that you find funny or endearing. All of that said, there are a lot of other things that you can do to help boost the visibility and get more people to watch your short videos. I've made an entire video about this that gives you 7 really actionable tips. You can watch that here if you're interested. All right, well, I hope this video helped. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.